some of the survivors of the Bataclan attack, as well as family members of the victims. They were actually in court. I spoke to a mother whose daughter was caught up in the attack. She survived, but she's psychologically traumatized. It massively affected her studying and her job prospects, and really her life has changed since November 13th, 2015. And what they want to know is, why was it that 8 soldiers who were outside the concert hall did not enter and intervene? Why were they not ordered to enter and open fire against the attackers? It's not totally clear how decisions were made within the chain of command that night, but what we do know from a parliamentary inquiry that was carried out afterwards is that police are said to have arrived on the scene. The soldiers, 8 soldiers, they were already there. The police said, "Why are you not going in?" The soldiers said, "Well, we've not been ordered to." So the police then called their superiors and said, "Can someone give the command so that the soldiers can go in and open fire?" Because the police only had handguns and they could hear the sounds of AK-47s going off inside the concert hall. The soldiers were armed with FAMAS assault rifles. The answer from the chain of command higher up, we don't know who made that decision, but whoever did said negative, no order to go in to the Bataclan concert hall. So what the soldiers did is they secured the area around it. A little later on, police officers as well as special forces entered the concert hall and they put a stop to the attack, but the soldiers did not go in. They secured the zone, but they did not go in, intervene or open fire.
And Claire, what happens next?
Well, the judges are now deliberating and they will have several issues to consider. The lawyer, Samia Maktouf, who is representing the group of families and families of the victims as well as survivors, she says that ultimately the French state, particularly the Interior Ministry, should shoulder the responsibility for that decision not to send in the soldiers to open fire against the attackers. That is because soldiers, of course, are employees of the state, and whoever was in the security services that night making that decision is also an employee of the state. What the key issues really that revolve around this trial now, and what the judges are going to have to consider, is hindsight is a wonderful thing. The benefit of hindsight is absolutely great, but decisions are made within the heat of the moment. Did the soldiers have the right training in order to deal with a hostage situation on French territory? Did the soldiers have the right information to allow them to go in? The lawyer of the group of families and survivors who was representing them, Samia Maktouf, she said there's no question of trying to blame the soldiers. There's no question of trying to name names, pointing the finger, but really ultimately it has to be the state that burdens some of the responsibility for this. The judges will deliberate now for 2 weeks.